Hello, today I'm going to discuss the results of the 3 audio interviews that we carried out as part of our primary research. Let's begin. So, question 1 is, what genre do you generally watch in the cinema? Well, Abby Rose said comedy, Cameron said thriller, and Mr Barham said independent drama and thriller. So these answers show that people watch a variety of genres in the cinema, and thriller is a popular one. So this gives us confidence that our film can be a success because so many people love the genre. Question 2 was, if I were to say the word thriller, what comes to mind first? Abby Rose said suspense, a little bit of action and jump scares. Cameron said thrilling. And Mr Barham said Alfred Hitchcock, things that are normal on the surface and then get twisted, and anything sort of to do with politics or crime. So these answers show that when people think of thrillers, it's being scared and thrilled that comes to mind first, along with things that are abnormal. So we should take this into consideration for our films so that we can engage our audience. Question 3 was, if you were to watch a thriller, what subgenre are you most likely to watch? Abby Rose said crime or action, Cameron said psychological, Mr Barham also said psychological. Now these answers show that there are multiple different subgenres of thriller that people like to watch, but psychological is definitely a major one because it gets the audience involved and thinking. This tells us that we need to ensure that we pose questions and involve our audience, even if our subgenre is not psychological. Question 4 was, what kind of characters do you anticipate to see in a thriller? Abby Rose said an antagonist, which is a bad person, someone in distress, which is typically a woman, and a hero. Cameron said ones with a lot of character development and backstory, and Mr Barham said unpredictable characters, those that are normal on the surface and then unravel as people. These answers show that people expect to see unusual characters in thriller films that are engaging, for example, ones with a backstory and evil and heroic characters. This tells us that our characters must be unique and the audience must be able to understand and connect with them in order to feel engaged and enjoy the film. So question 5 was, what kind of crime do you usually see in the news? Abby Rose said terrorism, Cameron said murder, and Mr Barham said usually more local crime, like gang crime and family murder. These answers tell us that in the news there are a variety of different crimes spoken about on both a local and global scale. For example, locally there are crimes like gang crime and family murder, and globally there is crime like terrorism. We must ensure that the crime in our film is understandable and worth watching for the audience. And finally, question 6 was, do you think that the police in this area are effective and do a good job? That is sort of the Essex, East sort of London area. Abby Rose said yes, they do. Cameron said they're alright, he feels somewhat safe. Mr Barham says they're not as much of a presence as they used to be, not on the streets as often, and he possibly doesn't feel as safe as he could be. These results show that people have mixed opinions on the police in this area. Some think that they are doing a good job in keeping people safe, whereas others think that they are not as powerful and daunting as they once were. This means that in our film the police must be powerful to show everyone that they are a big presence in society. However, we could twist this and make the police not as reliable, as after all, it is a thriller. And that's the results of the audio interviews explained. Thanks for watching.